Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hougie and Grinder Show. Just Hougie with you here today. Kev's off playing fucking lumberjack or something. I don't know what he's doing, but he couldn't make it this week. And I figured with the boys starting in the playoffs here tomorrow night, Monday, we better get one on the books here with the playoff predictions. And now I know Kev's going to argue the shit out of this. He's going to text me as soon as this hits the airwaves and he listens to it, because he ain't going to like most of my picks, I don't think. So we'll not really break down, but I'll give you my picks out of all the guys out of the East, and then we'll do the West, and then we'll get into the Edmonton-Anaheim series a little deeper, because I really don't care about the rest of them. I just like the Oilers. And, well, you know what? The Penguins and the Flyers, just because Stu Skinner's on the Pens. I want to see how he does. So, we're brought to you by Slapstick Decals and Stickers, as per usual. Give Rob a call, 403-505-9693, or get at him on Facebook and tell him that one fat guy and a puck this time told you to come and see him, and he'll give you 10% off your first order. There's been a few games played already: Pittsburgh, Philly, Carolina, Ottawa, Dallas, Minnesota. I watched most of the Philly-Pittsburgh game last night, and that was a good game. I mean, it was they got under Sid's skin a little bit. I'll be interested to see if his temper flares up again in the following games. I mean, he took a pretty nasty penalty. And that's not like Sid. It was kind of weird, but we'll see. My pick for that series is Pittsburgh in 6. They're down 1-0 right now, but you cannot count Sid out. I don't think until the final whistle blows in that fourth win. I don't think Sid's going to be out of it. So yeah, Pittsburgh in 6. So there you go, Philly fans. Piss on you. Carolina, Ottawa. Carolina's up 1-0 already in the series. Couldn't happen to a better guy. Brady Tkachuk gets his ass beat by fucking Jordan Staal at center ice right after face-off. And yeah, Jordan Staal beat him. Yeah, Brady threw more punches, but every one of them hit Staal in the back of the helmet, and Staal come back with a right hand and just popped him right on the chin. You got to give the nod to Jordan Staal on that one. It was really, really good game. Mean, nasty, the way playoff hockey should be. And like I say, anytime one of the Tkachuk brothers gets punched in the face, I'm for it. Buffalo, Boston. I'm excited to watch that series. Buffalo is kind of a dark horse. I mean, they're finally back in the playoffs. They don't got playoff experience on the team very much, but they're a good team. And I mean, Boston kind of squeaked in by the skin of their teeth, I guess, being in the first wild card spot, and they've had an up and down year. And Buffalo, to me, they're a more well-rounded team, and if they can stick to playing the way that they played all year, mean, nasty, solid defensive game, I would absolutely like to see Buffalo in. I'm thinking Buffalo in 6 too. I forgot Carolina, Ottawa. I'm going Carolina in 5. Sorry, Ottawa fans. Anytime a Tkachuk brother's involved, I have to bet against him. So piss on him. Now for the series I'm really excited to watch. This is Kev's secondary team. The Montreal Canadiens and the Tampa Bay Lightning. That is going to be probably the series to watch in the East in the first round. These two teams fucking hate each other. They really do. And it's odd because there's no real rivalry there. I mean, they're not naturally close to each other. It's not like their fans, have to fucking share bathrooms while they're having a piss. It's usually all Montreal or all Tampa Bay. So, that's going to be a good series. I mean, they're both highly talented clubs. And I mean, Montreal they're starting to blossom into the team that everybody wants them to be. I mean, Martin St. Louis has done a wonderful job with all these young players. They've gotten a lot of good, strong draft picks. I'm going to go Montreal in 7 in that series. And that one, I don't know, that's going to be the toss up for me. It's going to be a series to watch. So keep your eyes peeled on that one, because I'm looking forward to it. So there, the East is done. Let's move to the West. One game in the West already taken care of. That was Dallas and Minnesota. Minnesota fucking slapped them 6-1. Not gonna lie, I was a little surprised at that score. I know Minnesota's a good team, but so's Dallas. And I'm not gonna lie. I was surprised that Dallas let it get to 6-1. I mean, that was Minnesota looked thorough throughout that game. And I mean, Jasper Wallstead, he made some unbelievable saves last night. Like, uh, unbelievable. He plays like that against the Oilers too. It seems like every time we run up against the Wild, it's, well, what do they call them? The Wall from St. Paul. So, um, I'm gonna have to go. Well, see, I was torn on this one because I originally thought Dallas was going to come out of it. But if Wallstead's dialed in the entire series like he was last night, I mean, I don't know if there's a hope in hell for Dallas, to tell you the honest truth. Um, Quinn Hughes and Kirill Kaprizov, they looked solid, really solid. I mean, that's going to be a tight series. It's either going to be a sweep or it's going to be a tight series. I predict it's going to be a tight series. I don't think Dallas is going to push themselves back up off the mat here. And I think game 2, you're going to see a different Dallas team, a bigger, heavier, career team. And I honestly don't know who to pick in that one. So I'm going to go with the numbers because Dallas finished higher in the division. I'm going to go Dallas in 7. I think Minnesota is they're a good team, but Dallas has the playoff experience. They've been to the second round, and for the last few years they've been not a contender, but they've been in the dance for sure. They were formidable opponents to the Oilers, who ultimately went to the Stanley Cup Finals. So yeah, let's go Dallas in 7. We'll see. That's going to be a great series, really good. The other one out of the Central, Vegas and Utah. That's interesting. A lot of people at the start of the season didn't have Utah making the playoffs. And they just kept hanging around and hanging around and hanging around. And they were, I don't want to say a dark horse coming in or a Cinderella story, because they were half-ass competitive. I mean, they weren't the fucking Vancouver Canucks, that's for sure. But they're a solid team. They're well coached. They play a good, solid team game, Utah does. And I mean, let's face it, when they had the opportunities to win against poorer teams, they did it. They took it. And I honestly think that they're going to give Vegas a run for their money. This is another tough series to call, to make a call on. I mean, if I was a gambling man, I'd probably lose half of what I'm gambling. And just because these series could go either way. And I get that Vegas was first in the division, but at the same time, I mean, they got some energy, man. They're into the playoffs. They got the fans. They got, I mean, the Utah Mammoth fans are jacked up to watch this team in playoffs. Like, jacked up, man. I follow a few of them on TikTok, and they're rabid, like fucking rabid for playoff hockey, man. Nothing like when they were in Arizona. Everybody's like, oh, well, it's just hockey, and maybe we'll go catch the early bird special at Denny's because we're all 105 and retired in Arizona. Oh, man, Utah they have some rabid hockey fans, and that's good. It's good for the game. It's good for the team. And as we share the same opinion about the Vegas Golden Knights with quite a few people, in the fact that they signed Carter Hart and are playing Carter Hart. I hope Utah plays spoiler and knocks these assholes out of the playoffs. Vegas is quickly becoming the villain in the NHL, I guess you could say. And yeah, people don't like. I mean, Vegas fans, they're just as rabid. Well, not really. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of good Vegas hockey fans, but there's a lot that, trying to justify the signing of Carter Hart. Just zero respect from me. I don't care for it. So yeah, I hope Utah plays spoiler. Because fuck the Knights. I'm gonna go Utah in 6. Let's see where that gets me. Now to the Pacific. Colorado and Los Angeles. Now, when I started recording, Colorado was only up on Los Angeles 1-0. Now, everybody thought the Kings kind of squeaked in by the skin of their teeth, just got lucky or whatever it was, and Colorado was going to blow them out of the fucking water because they won the President's Trophy, and et cetera, et cetera. And don't get me wrong, Colorado's a fantastic hockey club. I'm glad the Oilers didn't roll up against them in the first round. But let's not forget, Los Angeles Kings are a long tenured playoff contender. They have been to the dance. Well, fuck, I mean, the Oilers played them 4 years in a row, so they know what playoff hockey's about. And they've got a few younger guys. You know, I mean, there's gamers up and down that lineup. I mean, granted, you lost Kevin Fiala at the Olympics, but you have the Bread Man and you have Drew Doughty and I mean Anze Kopitar. You cannot throw any shade the way of Kopitar because of the career he has had. You know, he is always in the fight, always in the hunt. Drew Doughty is always under the skin of the opponent. You know, the guy is. I wish like hell we'd have had Drew Doughty for the last 10 years instead of Los Angeles. I'm not gonna lie. I think Drew Doughty was or is, well, no, was, I guess. He's getting a little long in the tooth now, but Drew Doughty has been an elite defenseman in the NHL for a long, long time. And I do wish the Oilers could have signed him at some point, you know, weasel him out of free agency or traded for him or whatever. And I mean, let's not forget, Kenny Holland built the team that got us to the Stanley Cup Finals the first time. And Kenny Holland is now building that same similar team in Los Angeles. And I wouldn't count the Kings out. I really wouldn't. It's going to be a hell of a series. It's going to be one to watch. I should be watching it right now instead of talking to you fucking guys, but I love you and I need it. And plus I recorded it so I can watch it later. So, you know, old dad's thinking. This is going to be another series that I think is going to go long. I think LA has the horses still to compete with Colorado. I think the goaltending is going to be an issue on Colorado's side, maybe, if LA gets their horses going, if they can manage to, you know, run them, play a more physical game than Colorado, which LA is not scared of, man. They love the lumber. And that's my kind of hockey. Like if I wasn't an Oilers fan, man, I'd seriously consider watching the Kings. Now my biggest problem with the fucking Kings is the fact that Will Ferrell is at every game. I can't stand Will Ferrell. He is the most unfunny man on the planet. Steve Carell is in the same boat, and they were at the game against the Oilers here last week, and they showed him, and Will Ferrell's wearing a fucking Sweden jersey, and Steve Carell's wearing them stupid glasses, and they're not funny. They shouldn't be celebrities. They're not funny. Say what you want. I don't care. They're fucking whatever. At least they're good hockey fans, and they show up for their team. So good on them for that. But make better fucking movies, please, because you guys stink. Colorado is, I mean, if Nate McKinnon gets hot, well, hotter, I guess. Him and Makar have been red hot most of the year. So, but if LA can manage to kind of weather the storm from those guys and come back with a 1-2 punch with Kopitar and Aaron, I think they got a pretty good shot. That could be your big upset of the first round, realistically, is, you know, LA upsets Colorado in 6 or 7. I mean, that'd be huge out of the Pacific Division. Because it was so close, you know, we came right down to game 82 to figure out who was playing where and what. So, yeah, I believe that the Kings could upset the Avalanche. Would I bet money on it? Probably not. I don't know. I mean, everybody loves an underdog story. I mean, you look at the Cinderella run that the Kings went on the first time they won the cup back when it was 1-8 format. They ran the table, and out of 8 spot, they squeaked in, you know, they won in game 82 to get into the playoffs, and then they ran the fucking table and won the Stanley Cup. So who knows, right? I mean, if I had to pick somebody to do something like that out of the East too, it'd probably be Montreal. I mean, if Montreal goes on a Cinderella run, amazing. I mean, ideally, me and Kev, our dream Stanley Cup final would be Edmonton and Montreal. Let's face it. That would be the Mecca, and I mean, it's never going to happen because the commissioner Gary Bettman would never let that happen because he wouldn't get American television then, and then he'd be broke. So don't count on it ever. And yeah, that's the way I feel about it. Kev doesn't think there's a conspiracy theory going on. Old dad knows. It's, anyway, back to Colorado, LA. I don't know what the odds are. I'm not familiar with how online sports betting works or whatever. I would imagine that the Colorado is the heavy favorite, however that works. But I'm gonna have to take Colorado in 5. I hope I'm wrong, but Colorado in 5 just makes sense. They are the President's Trophy winner, and LA has been not banged up, but they're getting a little long in the tooth. Like I say, Kopitar's retiring in the end of the year. He's had a fantastic career, by the way. Good on him because he's great. There's few players that have played against the Oilers for so long and done so much damage to the Oilers, both on the score sheet and physically. Anze Kopitar, you can't hate the guy. He was much like Jerome McGinley, where he's just a good, solid competitor. The stuff he does off the ice that you see in the news or wherever, same thing. He's a great competitor. He's a great human being. He's good for the community. So, Kopitar, I know you're not going to fucking hear this, but hey, hats off to you, man, for a fantastic career. Thanks for being a decent guy. Best wishes in retirement. So Colorado in 5. I hope I'm wrong because I would absolutely love to see LA run the table to to either the conference finals or the divisional finals and come up against Edmonton and we smoke them for a 5th time in a row. That'd be pretty sweet, but I got to go with the numbers. Colorado in 5. So I'll recap. I mean, I got Pittsburgh, Carolina, Montreal, and Buffalo coming out of the East. Then I got Utah. I think I said Dallas. Pretty sure I said Dallas. I didn't write any of this down, so pretty sure I said Dallas. And then Colorado coming out of the West. And obviously I'm going to take the Oilers out of the Anaheim series. So let's get into that. Anaheim, I think that was the most favorable opponent we could have gotten out of the 3. Obviously, we'd have liked to play Utah, but certainly cannot overlook the Anaheim Ducks. They're young, they're hungry, they're having fun. They're playing with house money, so they've really got nothing to lose. Nobody really expected the Ducks to be here. Nobody expected them to make the playoffs. So a team like that, there's another one that could run the table and go all the way to the Cinderella story is I don't know. I mean, I hope not, obviously, because that would mean a 1st-round exit for us, and that would mean Connor McDavid asking for a trade in the offseason. Anybody who says otherwise doesn't understand what the hell's going through Connor McDavid's head, nor do I. I'm not an insider, but if it were me, and I've given this team a fucking decade to get their shit together, and we're moving backwards because we hired inept managers, I'd probably ask for a trade too. Anyway, I'm going to take the Oilers in 5 for the Anaheim series. I think Anaheim might surprise them with 1. But I did home ice advantage. Obviously, I mean, Rogers Place is going to be a fucking banger. It always is, Here, wait, we hit the 20-minute mark. I got to do this for Kev and Rob. We're going to pause for the cause. All right. I had to do that because that's what Kev and Rob like. Rob from Slapstick guy. Look at that, Rob. It's not fucking winter out anymore. Old Dad's getting a little hot in the sweater here. Maybe our sponsor could come through with some t-shirts or you gotta remember it's 2 fat guys. 2 fat guys. We don't do well in the heat. You wouldn't think. So who knows? Maybe our sponsor will get at us with some new merch. We'll see what goes down. Anyway, back to Anaheim, Edmonton. I think the bottom 6 for Edmonton is going to be crucial. I think they've got the horses. Anaheim has the horses to keep up with the top, maybe not keep up, but shut down the top 6 to an extent. I mean, obviously McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman. Draisaitl whenever he comes back. I hope he's back for game 1, but we don't know. Whenever they decide to get going, I think they're going to fucking... They're going to find their chances. They're going to find their spots. They're going to break through. They're just too good not to. And the bottom 6 really, really needs to contribute. Playoff hockey is a different animal. This is where you're going to have to get meaner, bigger, nastier. And I think, guys like Dickinson, Doc, Frederick is really going to have to show himself here in the playoffs. He's really going to have to get after it because, look, you got guys, especially on this team, you got a guy like fucking Radko Gudas. If he takes one liberty with Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl or Zach Hyman or somebody, you don't want Vasily Podkolzin dropping the mitts, man. You need a fourth liner to go out there and jam their fucking stick right into Radko Gudas' teeth. You already seen him take out Austin Matthews this year. He cannot be allowed to do it again. He can't. And if it does happen, do what it takes to get suspended so that Gudas doesn't come back for the rest of the year. It's that simple. It is literally that simple. You need to send a message to every single team in this fucking league. Our star players are not to be fucked with, period. And if that means Trent Frederick gets a fucking year-long suspension, well, that's your fucking job, man. You are to protect Connor McDavid. You're not here to fucking score goals. You're not here to fucking skate. You're not here to fucking look good on the bench. You were brought in for a reason, to add grit and meanness. And that is to make room for the Leon Draisaitls and for the fucking Connor McDavids and for the Zach Hymans. The guy who wore that jersey right there, Zach Kassian. He understood that role better than very, very few that we have had in the past. I mean, guys like Marty McSorley, Dave Semenko, yeah, they knew the guy who wore that jersey was untouchable. But where's my finger? There, this guy, Zach Kassian, his job in the playoffs. You remember 2017 Zach Kassian, man? That guy with the fucking mutton chops and just Looney Tunes against guess who? The Anaheim Ducks. So we need Trent Frederick. And let's face it, Colton Dock and Dixon and these fourth line guys, third and fourth line guys, we need them to channel some of that 2017 Zach Hyman playoff or Zach Kassian playoff energy. We need that. We need to physically dominate the Anaheim Ducks. And I don't think they can hang with them if the bottom six comes out and starts pounding the shit out of the defenseman. You dump the puck in, you go in there, you hit the defenseman. You dump it in, you hit. Dump and chase and hit. Dump and chase and hit. That is the only thing for the bottom six that should be written on the board by Chris Knobloch. That's it. Hit everything that moves. Everything. You should double your fucking hit totals in the playoffs. You should. And I'm interested to see how bottom six comes out in the first game. You obviously know Connor McDavid, the top six, Connor McDavid and Hyman and Nuge and Podkolzin and hopefully Draisaitl. They're going to be flying. They know what playoff hockey's about. They've been here. They've done this. And I mean, they're looking forward to it, obviously, so dispatch with the Ducks early in 4 is what their goal is. Like I said, I think the Ducks are going to steal one from us. Whether we get goalied or whatever, but that's going to be an interesting game if, depending on where they steal one for us. They might steal game 4 in Anaheim or game 3 in Anaheim. I don't think, I'm going to bet they don't win either of the ones in Edmonton, game 1 or 2. But who knows? I mean, shit, I'd love to get tickets to go watch one. I mean, if any of our lovely listeners or viewers have tickets that they want to give away to old Hougie and Grinder, I mean, I could take a few hours off work, go up there, and I mean, you could hear me cheer. I promise. I'll paint my face. How's that? I'll dye my beard and I'll paint my face if somebody gets me tickets to one of the Oilers playoff games. No, the goaltending is going to be big for us too. I think, we had to recall Calvin Pickard on an emergency basis. Obviously, I think Ingram's our guy. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Tristan Jarry and Calvin Pickard. I have no idea. Oh, is Big Dick Picks rolling into the playoffs with us, or is it Jarry? I think they're going to ride Ingram. That'd be my bet, is they're going to put Ingram. He's the man. He's the guy. He's the fucking savior, the be-all, the end-all. I think it's going to be interesting to see if we end up losing one early and it's because of some bad goaltending. It'll be interesting to see what Knobloch does. If he sticks with Ingram, or, say we come out and we lose game 1 4-2 or something, and 3 of the goals were just fucking terrible against. Does Chris Knobloch pull the trigger and put Pickard in? Or I don't know. I'm interested to see what kind of leash Connor Ingram has from Chris Knobloch. I mean, we know Stuart Skinner had a pretty big leash, but there again, Stuart Skinner was far more proven to Chris Knobloch than Connor Ingram is. So yeah, I'm it's curious. It's curious to me as to what that's going to look like. Does he make a knee-jerk reaction and scrap him? I mean, I don't think we're going to lose like that, but you never know, right? So on to we got to talk about the defense. Now, everybody knows from last show how I feel about Evan Bouchard's game. Now, playoff Evan Bouchard is a different animal, which is weird to me. I don't know. I hope we get playoff Evan Bouchard at game 1, not game 4 or 5 or round 2. I hope Evan Bouchard brings his best stuff game 1 and he has lights out. I really, truly, I know that player is there. I do. I've seen it. We've seen it in playoffs past, and he has moments during the season where he is that well-rounded Norris candidate trophy winning defenseman. This season hasn't been complete enough for me to have him in the Norris conversation. I believe in him in the playoffs because he's shown me that he can be that guy before. Here's hoping. Is Ekholm, same thing. He's just a solid fucking Swedish workhorse, man. He comes to the bench and you give him an apple and a handful of hay and you send him back out there. He's been really, really good for us. I mean, that was a fantastic pickup when we picked him up. Connor Murphy and Darnell Nurse pairing. Connor Murphy seems to have really calmed Darnell Nurse down. He's whether it's because he's cleaning up his fucking mistakes better than Jake Wallman could. That pairing to me, Darnell Nurse still makes a lot of fucking mistakes. Let's face it. He makes just as many or more mistakes than fucking Evan Bouchard does. He's not worth the fucking $9.25 million or whatever his fucking $9.5 million that his fucking contract is either. So, but that's what the market bared, and good on him for signing it and getting rich. I'd have done the same thing. And anybody listening, I'll call you a fucking liar to your face if you tell me otherwise, that you wouldn't have signed a $9.5 million contract put in front of you. Now, Jake Wallman, Ty Emberson, Spencer Stastny. Wallman's obviously going to be in with Emberson for game 1, I would assume. That's probably my most questionable pair. Emberson, Wallman's obviously a offensive defenseman, and he's good at it. That's why we signed him. I mean, would I like to see a little more from him? Yeah, okay. Emberson just isn't the shutdown defenseman that we had hoped yet he could be. He's still fairly young. I mean, he's only 26 years old. 25 years old. Oh, hang on. What am I doing here? Yeah, 25 years old. Interesting. 25 years old. And so he hasn't really come into his prime yet. He hasn't gotten there. I do believe he will get there, but that's probably my most worrisome pairing is the Jake Wallman, Ty Emberson / Spencer Stastny pairing. They're probably going to get limited minutes. Not limited minutes, but they're not going to face the top lines like Bouchard and Ekholm, or sometimes you'll get Darnell and Connor Murphy. So that's going to be something to watch. I mean, I think obviously with home ice advantage, they can work that system better due to the last change. But I think that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. Especially that's when we're down in Anaheim. That last change could bite us. We'd have to watch the rest of the game and have a nap easily. Dad's getting old here. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this series. Obviously, it's playoff hockey. It's Oilers. We're in oil country. I got shorts on because it's warm. It's 20 degrees today, and there's hockey on TV. Yeah, never a bad day to watch hockey in shorts. Now, the particular people that I'm worried about on the Ducks, obviously, number one, people have been talking about it online quite a bit, is Radko Gudas. Like I say, you've seen him tackle Sidney Crosby in the Olympics, and hurt Sidney Crosby. He went knee on knee with Austin Matthews and hurt Austin Matthews. And is there a way we can keep him away from Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl? And I know some people out there are like, oh, well, he can't hurt what he can't catch. Well, fair, but all it takes is once. All it takes is once for McDavid to come across the ice and he sticks his knee out on him. I mean, say what you want about Radko Gudas. He's a dirty fucking hockey player. Let's face it. He's a dirty hockey player. And I don't like him. I hope to hell he doesn't hurt McDavid or Draisaitl or Hyman or Nuge or I think Podkolzin would tune him in after the fact, but after that, it might be too little too late. We may lose one of our superstars to a disgustingly gross Radko Gudas hit. So he's probably my main concern on the Anaheim Ducks. They don't really have any, I guess, superstar level forwards. They do it by committee. I mean, they got Troy Terry and Mason McTavish, and they've got some good players, but they don't. There's not one or two real standout guys. They're a good, solid team. And I think it's going to be a really, really good series because they can throw two full lines at you and 3 full lines at you, and they just keep grinding and working. And, they got fairly good defensive core and Jacob Trouba and Jackson Lacombe. And I like Jackson Lacombe. I think that kid's going to be really good. He's going to be a solid NHL defenseman. Well, he already is, but and John Carlson. Let's not forget John Carlson. Yeah, he's almost the elder statesman on the team. Actually, I think he is. He's the oldest guy on the team. Same thing. He's been around a long time, man. He knows how to play the game, playoffs and not playoffs. You can bet he's going to be, leading by example. We'll see where it goes. I think it's going to be a good series. It's going to be a good series to watch. It'll be fast. That is one thing about the Ducks is they are a fast team, and the Oilers are a fast team. This could be a real high scoring. Back in the 80s, 7-8 and 10-12, and it could be. The goalies will just be turned into Swiss cheese. I mean, Lucas Dostal for the Ducks, I think he's going to be their starter. I would assume he's goalied the Oilers a few times. He always plays well when it comes to the Oilers. So let's see where it goes. I mean, it's going to be it's playoff hockey, right? It could go either way. So yeah, you know what? We're at 40 minutes. Let's wrap her up there, I guess. I'm going to try and get a little something out to you guys after every game. I can't promise anything just because of work. But we'll definitely have our weekly wrap up once a week, whether it's just me or me and Kev. Drop it Sunday afternoons, hopefully. So yeah, anyway, thanks for tuning into the Hougie and Grinder show here. Brought to you by Slapstick Decals and Stickers. Get at them on Facebook or give them a call, 403-505-9693. This was episode 26, and we appreciate you sticking around with us for this long. As Kev would say, keep your stick on the ice, and I will catch you later.
Hello, everybody. This is Slapstick Decals and Stickers, a proud sponsor of the Hougie and Grinder podcast. Get at us for your decals, stickers, banners, and more. You can reach us on Facebook or call us at 403-505-9693. Keep slapping.